Hello and welcome to Capricorn Makes. I'm Stacy and today I have a very special guest. I am joined by Euphorbics Skuld, who is a Batchix Lagoon with a special skull faceplate that is really cool. She's really cool, you guys. I'm so glad she's here. She is just here for a visit. Euphorbic was here over the weekend and I got to keep her for a little bit, which is really fun. But she is here as a distraction because I have done absolutely nothing that I had wanted to do doll-wise this week. Not from any particular lack of impetus. I've been really busy because I'm not sick anymore, you guys. Hooray! So I'm not sick. And I'm doing things again, but I'm kind of doing like lots of things. And one of my really good friends left for the States for 6 months on Friday. And so we sort of had her here quite a bit throughout the week. And then we had a very, very, very busy social weekend because we had been pushing off people because we were sick and I was sick. And then because we were trying to see my friend as much as possible before she left. Then we had lots of catch up to do with lots of people that we haven't seen. So, what have I been doing? What I can do while I'm out with people is spin. So I've been spinning a lot. This is that gradient that I had posted pictures of. It doesn't actually look as dark as all this. Like once it will be knitted up, it's just the way that it has happened to be in this skein. And then I'm gonna knit something doll related out of this, you guys. It's amazing. I'm not gonna focus in, but like you can see the color. That's actually pretty color accurate, I think. I also had to knit more for my husband's pusheen scarf that I am knitting him, that I have been knitting him forever, you guys. I'm so ready to be done with this project. It's very fun. It's very cool. It's all my hand spun. I had some technical issues that meant that I had to unknit like almost the whole thing and reknit it again. And it's going better this time, but I just didn't have enough. So it's still, the rest of it is still on the wheel. But it is ready to come off and be knitted. I should probably show you Skuld close up because she's super worth it. Look at her, you guys. Is she not the best? She is currently wearing a wig by, who is this? I should know. It's not my stuff, so I'm having to think. This is a wig by Amadeus Studios that was really kind of weird and was meant for another doll, and we put it on this doll just because we were playing around and went, oh, we kind of like that. It's sort of got this greenish gray undertone that works really well with the resin of her face. I don't know how well she'll show up on camera. Like, she's really quite subtle in her painting, though it's really quite good in like up close. And I love her little jingle bell and her little friend. And then these pants just came in from, ooh, can I see them? These pants just came in from 3 Mice. Look at them. They are so cool. I really love them. They've been done up with some like batiks, like quilting batiks, and I love all the little details on them. And Euphorbic actually has quite a few things from 3 Mice. She's not wearing shoes. She's not a shoe kind of doll. So Euphorbic actually has quite a few things from 3 Mice, and everything is amazing, you guys. Like, every piece that she gets in the mail, I'm like, oh, wow, I really like this. And I'm really tempted to order some pieces from them because they are so really lovely. I just don't have dolls that are quite in the scale that they do stuff for, but some of it is so nice that I'm kind of just tempted to grab it anyway and just enjoy having it. So here I am up close. The other thing I have of Euphorbics is her postcards came in, and so I'm going to show you how cool these turned out. So this is her Batchix Dark Elf Inyal. This is from the this is the older Dark Elf. And this is one of the headdresses that she has made. And he has a face up and custom eyes by Bear Called Red. I love him. I love how this photo turned out. I think it's great to have it in big size. This is Skuld at, this is at Hobbiton. I think this particular window might be in the Green Dragon Inn, but I can't remember. But this was one of the first photos that I had seen of her, and I love it. Like, she had taken this a couple of weeks after I met her, I think. And then I love this photo of Skuld. She's all lit up. This faceplate does actually glow in the dark. It's in glow-in-the-dark resin, and it looks really, really neat, but it's so difficult to catch on film. And so when she lit her up with all of these little fairy lights that she had, I think the general effect is really, really cool. And then this was the photo of Absalom and Inyal. There was this crazy sunset that happened here a couple months ago now, but like this was the color of the sky and the outside for like 5 minutes or something like that. And so the fact that Euphorbic managed to like grab her dolls, throw them into some kind of photo shoot, and actually like get usable, amazing, crazy photos out of it with this incredible non-colored light. Like, this is what the sky was like. This is what all of the windows looked like. It was like pink aliens were invading. It was amazing. And she's halfway across town. She's like a half-hour drive from me, so the fact that she was also getting this light out near her and managed to take advantage of it, I'm just impressed. I'm impressed, you guys. She's probably gonna do another print run. She may do another one of these. She's probably doing another series, a second series as well. I will link to her down below in case you are interested in these. You can get in any of these. She will ship them out for you. And they are postcards, but she ships them in a mailer, so she doesn't, like, unless you want them. Like, I suppose she could actually send them to the mail, or through the mail to you. But if you are interested, definitely drop her a line, because I think these were some of the last from her first run, but she's looking at doing other ones. And it's so cool, you guys! It's so cool to actually have, like, physical things. Oh, it fell down. Like, my wall is sort of disintegrating. I need to redo it. But I have a Christmas card from Rodewook and Vogel that has, like, that she had printed up of some of her dolls. And it's actually just really fun to see these things that, you know, a lot of times you don't see in person. I do see these dolls in person. But it's fun to sort of have those mementos. And, you know, I wasn't sure I was going to like them as much. I was like, oh yeah. And then they came in and I was like, oh, those are amazing. So, yeah, I have to sort of decide, like, do I want to put postcards out there? I think it would be kind of fun to be able to send stuff to people. Let's see. Where was I? I do actually have quite a few things to talk about. So, the outcome of my last video's little crisis, which was the No More MSDs, has actually been super awesome, in the sense of, like, what do I want to do? What am I looking for? Like, it has really sort of cut a whole bunch of things that I had sort of wanted. It's just cut down on my mental chatter for dolls quite a lot. And I go, okay, well, because I'm not thinking about this, it's actually clarifying a lot of other things about a lot of dolls I had kind of been on the fence about, or kind of been interested in but wasn't really sure about. And it actually just feels a lot better, and I'm really enjoying the dolls that I do have a lot more, even though I haven't really been able to craft for them. So I guess my dolls, one of the good things about having doll friends, or friends who know that you are into dolls, is that when they go thrifting, they'll keep an eye out for you for cool thrifted stuff. So one of my non-doll friends actually found me this enormous bag of doll clothes, which some of it was like Barbie sized, and there was like Barbie bedding and stuff in there that's kind of irrelevant. And actually some of it's pretty cool. It has some really interesting, like, reproductive, like, labeled Barbie vintage clothing in it, and a couple of things that may actually fit Euphorbics Merry Doll Round Dango when she comes in. We'll have to try things on her and see. But there was some really fun stuff in there. But one of my favorite pieces was actually this little awful awful jacket. I don't know what doll this would have come on. It's a really odd shape, and it's kind of a girly print to be from a boy doll, but it's also too slim to be like a teddy bear or something like that. But look at this collar, you guys. It just lays so incredibly nicely. Like, I am probably gonna pattern this and actually turn it into like a fitted jacket style pattern, but it just lays so nicely. You know, like, so once it gets a little bit of shaping in it, I cannot believe sort of the scale and how perfect the collar shape is. And it's just, it's very simple. It's like, you know, trash fabric, but it was perfect. And I was just like, I won't use this piece, I don't think, for anything, because it's pretty stained up, and it's falling apart, and the pattern is just kind of dire. But that's fine. Okay, I gotta show you. That does not look comfortable. Like, if this is happening, you've got a bit of an injury, I think. I actually think I may have had this injury at one time in my teens. Okay, so the other thing that was in that bag that was so promising was this hideous, and I mean hideous, denim jacket that had been bedazzled, like, with these, like, crazy, like, the equivalent of pony beads. Like, these things are awful. And I was just like, oh, it's kind of big. I don't know. Like, it was clearly on, like, some kind of weird soft doll. Sorry, I'm just trying to get her together. But look at this thing, you guys. Ooh, your feet need to get out of the way, woman. All that work to straighten her legs out. I may have to bend them to get her close enough into the range of the camera. But look at how cute this is. Like, it fits like it was made for this doll. When does that ever happen? I mean, like, it does. But, like, the collar isn't too big, and the cuffs, like, I could put, like, I have buttons that I could put in. And look at these things. They are awful, but they actually look like they would work just fine. You know, they look fine. They look like pins or something like that. But, like, look at how they are put on here. These are just so dumb. But they work. They freaking work, and I don't understand. Like, it looks really good. Here, let me zoom back out, because she's big enough to hang out with me. But yeah, I mean, like, that works. I mean, it absolutely works for her, and I find that to be wonderful. And when I put this on, and I started laughing, and my friend saw, and she was just like, I cannot believe that that actually works that well. And neither could I. And I think I've got her hip out of joint. That's okay. But yeah, when I put it on and my friend, like, I started laughing, and she's like, oh, is it that bad? I'm like, no, it's really, really good. And I was just shocked and happy and just kind of like really pleased that not only one thing was usable and really cool, but two things were actually, like, I will, like, once this gets cleaned, it just needs a little bit of a clean. It's perfect, and I will use it just absolutely for her. And that, I think, is really really exciting, because it it then motivates her to look for more stuff. Not that I necessarily need, like, random stuff floating around, but it is really cool to have. Let me see. My friends are not the only ones who have been thrifting. Like, I've actually found some really cool stuff lately. I found this. It's actually like an alcohol thing with like a gift box with like a plexiglass slide that slides through here, which is actually incredibly convenient if I ever want to move the diorama but keep everything all on the shelf. Like, it will get out of position, clearly, but it could just stay there and be fine. And I had pulled some props over here so that you could see sort of the size of, like, all the various props and things that I'm finding. It is an awkward height. It's not quite like a tall enough size for MSD for it to be like a tall, like, normal sized bookcase. And it's kind of small enough to be, you know, SD, whatever. Like, it is, but it's cool enough, and for, you know, what I paid for it, it's a cool enough piece that it will help round out rooms. 'Cause why not? I thought that was really fun. I have actually found a bunch of little stuff, but I have I will probably put together a whole prop haul video with all the little stuff, because it's just too hard to show on camera and make sure everything's in focus, because I actually can't see if I'm in focus or not. What else? The other thing. Look at these. Like, I bought this little container of things, and these are just, they're like perfect MSD scale storage boxes, because I have like a million of these in my room in the big size. I didn't buy these for BJDs. I bought it for like sewing necessities and things for my little area over here. But I got them and I was just like, oh man, how perfect are these for, you know, stuff that so many people have, like, stuffed around everywhere. How do you ever find them for, you know, it was just really fun. Like, it was just a really fun realization to me that I had found this thing that worked for dolls that I had not intended to be for dolls at all. So going back to my earlier talk about, like, you know, having sort of cut out the MSD stuff thoughts, it has meant that I, of course, am thinking about SD stuff, and I'm not in a position now to buy anything, which is good, because Josh, yes you, was selling his 70 centimeter Dollstown body, and I was just like, I kind of want it. I had literally just been looking the night before at bodies new from the company, trying to decide if I wanted one. Which I probably do, but now is not the time, so I'm so glad that somebody else bought that body, because I would have just been like, ooh, which kidney am I selling for that? Yeah. But the other thing that has happened was, it took me a really long time to decide what head I wanted on this body, and I ended up with the LT Edria, and it was a compromise at the time, because the head that I actually wanted was the Charm Doll Jian Li, and literally the month that I had decided to buy it, they had also, just a month before, decided that they were no longer going to sell just their heads. And I have no use for that particular body, which is, you know, it's kind of expensive as a full doll, and I know I've talked about it, but I was just like, okay, fine. So I sort of had to sort of reshop for, like, my ideas for that character. And you know, I had, like, my short list was about 10 heads long, and none of them were quite right. But one of the dolls that was sort of on the short list, but I didn't really feel all that great about, was the Impel Doll Azalea head. And because I really like it, and I really like it for other people, and then I look at it blank and I go, this is just not what I'm after. And I can paint it to kind of be close, but it's just not right. It's just not right, which is why I didn't end up going with it. But there is a new DFH sculpt out. Oh my gosh. Ugh! It's from their like historic line or whatever they, it's not historic, because the other one is like a vampire general or something like that. But it is called General Advisor Lu Yunxi. I'm hoping that's close to the pronunciation. But it's a boy doll, of course, which means it would go on this body particularly well, especially because this head is telling me that she wants to be on something a little bit more masculine is the wrong word, but less pretty than this body. She wants to be something less pretty than this body is pushing her towards. And if this other head had been available at the time, I would have bought this head instead of the Edria head. And I'm so excited about this, you guys, and I don't currently have the $80 to do it. I'm a little bit behind in my fun money because through, like, friends of friends, I came into some Super Sculpey. Not just a little Super Sculpey, but like almost 10 pounds with all the little bits and bobs that I have of Super Sculpey. Now, it is winter here. It's cold, not cold, but it's clammy. It is not the right time for me to sort of delve into this at the moment. I have a lot of other things on my plate, but this was being sold for half price of what I can normally get it at here in New Zealand. And I talked with my husband and I was just like, yeah, I think this makes financial sense to get it now, even if I don't really start playing with the sculpting for another 6 months, because I really, really loved the little head that I had made. I had actually done quite a few like body jointing studies of like me just sort of learning how jointing systems worked. I haven't really shown a lot of those. I don't know if they're anywhere handy for me to grab. The answer is no, they are not anywhere handy that I can grab and sort of show you. But what I had wanted was, at the time, was to see if I could work out the engineering of ball joints and like some other sorts of joints without actually having ever seen a ball jointed doll in my hands before. And it's really sort of interesting, some of the solutions that I came up to some problems. I wasn't copying anything, but it was, I wasn't copying like any particular designs, but I find it really interesting that this shoulder design that this doll has with the cup that sits over the top of her other arm was one of the things that I had sort of instinctively made as a way to increase flexibility or mobility or motion. And I don't, like, I might have seen dolls that were like that, but none of the dolls that I was sort of looking at the time had that particular feature. So the fact that it occurred to me to try that, and it doesn't look like anything, I wasn't copying anything, but anyway, the point is that I had really enjoyed the physicality of playing with the clay. I do have a program on my computer, and I have, you know, I can work on sort of like the 3D sculpting and whatnot, but I actually really do like a lot of what you can learn by working with the physicality of the medium and then sort of transferring that to 3D sculpting, if that's the way that I end up going in the future. So, I had more, but I got a phone call and I have to go pick my husband up rather in a hurry because he's left early, and I don't have very much time to go get there. So thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully have a wig and some more clothes made by the next video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.